what notable Russian city is due north of Tel Aviv or Jerusalem? Moscow. Okay, so it's fascinating and intriguing to watch this. They fear Russia will be the one that will turn out to be their arch enemy. At the same time, I have heard through sources that Israel's Mossad agents cooperate with Russia's today modern-day KGB. It's now FDG or something like that. They sit side by side in Moscow doing intelligence work together, cooperative intelligence work. And it throws us back to the saying, all's fair in love and war. Both Russia and Israel will cooperate with each other, even in terms of their secret intelligence agencies, where it is mutually advantageous to both. But ultimately, they hate each other's guts. And Magog will be the leader that organizes his military alliance to ultimately not only attack her, but to annihilate her, you see. Okay? And Israel knows that. Yet they work together when it comes to being mutually advantageous. Now, who are the allies? Ezekiel partially catalogs the ancient names of the peoples and nations who would be confederates of Russia in chapter 38, verses 5 and 6. Now, Persia. All authorities agree on who Persia is today. It is modern Iran. Ding, ding. Friday night, he made the same statement again. Okay? And I'm arguing that when we get time permitting, we'll get to the map, what I would call, what will ultimately be modern day Persia. It is going to be Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. That brings you right out to the Mediterranean, as Persia was in their first Persian Empire, okay, which was the closest the Persian Empire with respect to Ezekiel the prophet. Now, this is significant because it is being wooed to join the United Arab Republic in its hostility against Israel. Is that true today? Not exactly.
Well,
the United Arab Republic is scared to death of Iran because she's pursuing a nuclear weapon.
Okay, you're talking about Saudi Arabia. Okay.
Well, Saudi Arabia, the Arab Emirates, all of them, Egypt,
right, yeah.
None of them want to see the rise of Persia again.
Yeah, okay. True.
But they will ultimately band together in terms of this great military alliance, because they'll have a common enemy. Because of the Satanocracy, the power of Satan, he will get them to unite in a common cause, and that is the destruction of Israel, wipe her off the face of the map. But also remember, the prophecy says, I will put hooks in your jaw. Magog and this military alliance. They not only go in there to destroy her, but they destroy her to get what? Spoil. Now, these gas finds off the coast of Israel in the Mediterranean, and more exploration being done throughout, particularly the northern parts of Israel, to find oil and gas. They believe that there's probably the world's largest pockets or deposits of oil and gas in there. This will no doubt become the spoil that this military alliance will be after. All right, now there will be gold, there will be silver, there will be cattle, livestock. And of course, Israel is turning out to be a great agriculturally productive country, and that may be a factor as well. Now, all authorities agree on this. Today, that is not. That may still be true, but I disagree. The Russians are at this moment seeking to gain footholds in Iran by various overtures of aid. This is true. The Russians are at this moment seeking to gain footholds in Iran by various overtures of aid. They're building the nuclear power plant, and this summer they, this summer they should be starting up the Bushehr nuclear power station, outside of Tehran. She is also working, and I'll show you a map next week, where Iran and Russia are working together and redefining the energy map in that area so that they will be more powerful than OPEC. Okay? So in order to mount the large-scale invasion predicted by Ezekiel, Russia would need Iran as an ally. It would be much more difficult, now watch this, much more difficult to move a large land army across the Caucasus Mountains that border Turkey than the Elburz Mountains that border Iran. Iran's general terrain is also much easier to cross than Turkey's. Now Turkey is going to turn out to be Togomar. Togomar and Persia and the rest will unite in this great alliance against Israel. At this point in time, though, we're in a state of flux. Modern-day Turkey is a NATO ally, but at the same time, with his new president, he has become more and more aligned with the Muslim Islamic cause and become very anti-Israel. Okay, now this is a very important development. Furthermore, how does Turkey respond to Iran? Iran and Turkey have been for over 1,000 years rivals of each other. Turkey leans toward the Muslim Islamic, and Iran, of course, was prior to Muhammad in the 600, 700 AD, penetrating Persian Empire and installing Islamic teachings and so forth. They were Zoroastrians. They had a different faith. So today, Turkey and Iran, they get along a little bit, but they are still rivals, and their rivalry is being focused now on Syria. Syria means a lot to Iran. Syria means a lot to Iran. Iran has a lot of vested interest in Syria, and Syria is more, I want to say a puppet, but she's a surrogate nation that is being used by Iran to be the northern enemy and basis for attacking Israel in the north of Israel. All right? Jordan will come into the picture later on, but she's got the Hamas, she's got the Hezbollah, she's got those on her side, Lebanon as well. Okay, so the Iran has a lot of vested interest in Syria, but Turkey is now trying to help the Syrian freedom fighters. So here they are rivaling each other because Turkey would love to get her hold on Syria, and when it all is said and done, it would be in her sphere of influence. But I don't think that's going to happen because Turkey will be ending up in the role of Togomar, and Iran, modern-day Persia, will be Iran sweeping right across to where Syria is. All right, is that clock? I thought we were going to have a Gideon experience and where the clock stopped and we can go on for the next 2 or 3 hours. But anyway, watch the actions of Iran in relation to Russia and the United Arab Republic. This writer believes that significant things will soon be happening there, and they are.